people. Has there been any action, any FIR, any complaint? No, nothing has happened at all whatsoever. And according to the Association of Democratic Reforms, it's the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders. There are maximum criminal cases pending against them in the Lok Sabha, in the Rajya Sabha. Has there been any action? Not minor offences, serious offences, heinous crimes are pending against them, going on from many, many years. And now legal issue. There was no, the ingredient of defamation is a malicious intent. There was no malicious intent at all whatsoever. The statement was not even referred to Mr. Purnesh Modi. There was no referral to that person, and this statement was given in a different state. Therefore, how could it be pursued in Gujarat? These are some legal questions that we want to ask from the Bharatiya Janata Party and will be challenged in the court.
Sure.
And we are hopeful that the Bharatiya Janata Party will soon be given a befitting reply, because one, they have done away with the democracy, are trying to do away with that from a very long time, because Mr. Gandhi was asking questions over the Adani issue, was demanding a probe. His mic was muted. The session was adjourned on multiple occasions. Since that did not suffice, they had to resort to this, because they are afraid of the questions that Mr. Gandhi is asking. Number two, they wanted to divert the attention from the real issue, Mr. Adani's issue and Mr. Choksi's issue. And, they've been saying that the Supreme Court has already begotten a commission. That commission's scope is what the Bharatiya Janata Party should look into. It does not involve,
the allegations have been made and the opposition has been united as far as the JPC demand goes. And I will get PKD Nambiar to respond to that. Unfortunately, we do not have a BJP representative, but I will put those questions across to PKD Nambiar. But I just want to ask you a few questions, Arshpreet Kadyal, on the things you said. One was about the legal issue. You said Rahul Gandhi has legal recourse. Yes, of course he does. But for the last 4 days, that hasn't been contested yet.
In fact,
I'm sorry, the legal recourse has a procedure that's there.
Sure.
We have been allowed a sentence suspension for 30 days. In 30 days, we are supposed to file an appeal. After that, the Honorable District Court's judge would take on the matter, will hear the matter, arguments will happen, and then a decision will be given. And before he takes up the matter, he will summon the record from the magistrate. So there is a due process, a due procedure which has to be followed. There's not a film that's happening that the Bharatiya Janata Party expects us to take an action the next day. This is no bail. This is no different. This is not something where you can do something in minutes and seconds. It's an appeal. Appeal takes time. It's a different process. It's a different procedure. They should read that. However, before questioning us over the law, they should read Article 103 and they should have followed the right procedure, which was to refer this matter to the president. The president would have sought an opinion from the election commission, and then he would have decided if Mr. Gandhi should be
So the legal recourse that Rahul Gandhi takes is right. The court has also given him a 30-day window to do so. So fair enough. You can take your time to do so. That's your strategy, and that's up to Rahul Gandhi and his legal team. But until then, are we going to be seeing scenes like what we saw in the Lok Sabha today, with papers and placards being flung at the speaker? If Congress says that they're trying to save democracy from the Modi government, is what the Congress alleges, is this the example that you want to set?
Well, if the Bharatiya Janata Party was to be learned from, this is the example that the Bharatiya Janata Party has been setting up. What they've been doing is muting our mics, not giving us equal amount of opportunities, and adjourning the sessions. You must remember when Mr. Gandhi back in the day walked into the parliament, within a few minutes, the session was adjourned. It convened just 2 minutes before, 4 minutes before the Rajya Sabha, 2 minutes before the Lok Sabha. And within, minutes, a couple of minutes, it got adjourned because the Bharatiya Janata Party does not have the answers to the questions that we are asking. They are probably afraid to give the answers. We don't understand what problem does the Bharatiya Janata Party have in ordering a probe.
So order that probe. Until then, whether we see the parliament being paralyzed or not is perhaps not something that should be questioned to either of the parties. But PKD Nambiar, several questions have been raised of the BJP of the manner in which all of this has been done. What we saw in parliament today was completely out of place. It brings shame to a lot of people. These are members of parliament elected to represent the people of this country, and we do not expect our representatives to behave in a manner like this. That is something that should be condemned irrespective of the party.
Very unfortunate. It's my money and your money is being just washing out every day in the parliament. This is not the kind. These people are supposed to be representing all of us, you and me, and they are supposed to be the voice of us. Instead of that, most of these opposition parties are now becoming more of like a slave of a particular family or a particular leader, and they wanted to come up and stand for him rather than for the people of this country. And second part is that my co-panelist was just talking about all his the 5 minutes of this monologue was all about contradictions. If at all, if there is a judicial order of a particular court, they should go for a recourse on another the appellate courts, whichever is the court which requires. And even today in the morning, the KC Venugopal, he was just talking about we are still studying the this thing, and we will take the course of action with regard to the judicial. I think the bottom line today is very simple, that Congress is, and Rahul Gandhi, despite number of launches, relaunches, and etc., is not being accepted by the people of this country. They wanted to make the parliament as a mockery in front of not only just the Indians across the world. I think what is the kind of message these people who are throwing this the papers on your screen is showing to the world? The new generation of the people don't even wanted to get into the politics only because of these kind of a misbehavior, in other words, by these parliamentarians.
And that's the most unfortunate bit. Yes, everyone has the right under the freedom of expression under this constitution to say what they want, to protest like the Congress has been doing. But the Lok Sabha, the parliament, is not a place for such kind of behavior, and we definitely don't expect this from our parliamentarians, to say the very least. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time, but I thank you both gentlemen for joining us here on this broadcast. We do have to shift focus to some breaking news that's now coming in from Karnataka, where the quota quandary seems to be hitting the BJP and the state government. There were protests outside former Chief Minister Yediyurappa's residence as well this afternoon. He is now addressing the media. Let's listen in.
ಏಕಾಏಕಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಲ್ಲೆ ಕಲ್ತೂರಾಟ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಆದಾಗ ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ಮನಸ್ಸು ನೋವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ತತ್ಕ್ಷಣ ನಾನು SPDCಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಡಿ, ತಪ್ಪು ಗ್ರಹಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಘಟನೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. SPDC ಇಬ್ಬರು ಸಹ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಾಂತಿಯುತವಾಗಿದೆ, ಈಗ ವಾತಾವರಣ ತಿಳಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ನಾನು ನಾಳೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಡಿದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಕರೆಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೇನಿದೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ
In a day or two, I will call the leaders of the committee and speak to them.
ನಾನು ಆ ರೀತಿ ಯಾರದೇ ಕುಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಅಂತ ಈ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಪಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಘಟನೆ ನಡೆದಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ
At this point in time, I will not get into whether there was any instigation from anyone since I'm here and the incident has happened there.
ಈ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಸಿದ್ಧ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟು ಪೊಲೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸಚಿವರು ಆರೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಘಟನೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಮುಖಂಡರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಆರೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ನಾನು ನಾರಾಯಣ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೂ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಪಡ್ತೇನೆ, ತಪ್ಪು ಗ್ರಹಿಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಥರದ್ದು ಏನು ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಯಾರು ಕೈವಾಡದ ಯಾರು ಕೈವಾಡ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೊರತು ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳಿಗೆ, ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಈ ಥರ ಈ ಘಟನೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಕೈವಾಡ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ಭಾವನೆ ಬರೋದು ಸ್ವಾಭಾವಿಕ. ಆದರೆ ನಾನು ಇದು ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ದೇನೆ ಯಾರ್ದೋ ಮೇಲೆ ಆರೋಪ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನಂತೂ ಸಿದ್ಧ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಂಜಾರ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲೇ ಏನೋ ತಪ್ಪು ಗ್ರಹಿಕೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಸರಿಪಡಿಸುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
There might be some confusion within the Banjara community and we will take all steps to ensure that is cleared.
ಏನೇ ಇರಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಅವರು ಬಂಜಾರ ಸಮಾಜದ ಮುಖಂಡರು ಬಂದು ಮಾತಾಡಲಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಂದೇನು ಅಭ್ಯಂತರ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಲೋಪ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸರಿಪಡಿಸೋಕೆ ಅವ್ರು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಬಂಜಾರ ಸಮಾಜದ ಮುಖಂಡರು ಬಂದು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿನ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾತನಾಡೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ.
ಈಗ ಒಳ ಮೀಸಲಾತಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪರ ವಿರೋಧ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಒಳ ಮೀಸಲಾತಿ.
ನಾನು ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿ. ಮೀಸಲಾತಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, 100ಕ್ಕೆ 90 ಭಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದಿಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಲೋಪ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ
ಸರ್, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ದು ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಬೀದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಸಮುದಾಯದವರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವ್ರ ಮನೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೊಡಿತಾರೆ ಅಂತ.
ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾಳೆ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು.
ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವ್ರನ್ನ ಈ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರ ಅಂತ. ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪನವ್ರನ್ನ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರ ಈ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ.
ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನೋ ತಪ್ಪು ಗ್ರಹಿಕೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ, ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಅದೇ ಸಮಾಜದ ಮುಖಂಡರು ಯಾರು ಬಂದು ಒಂದರದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಲಾಟೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರು, ಅವರನ್ನೇ ಕರೆಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಯಾಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಏನು ಅಂತ
There
ಅವ್ರ
must have
ಜೊತೆ
been some confusion within the community.
ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
We will call the leaders of the community and speak to them.
ಯಾರು ಬಂದರೂ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನೀಗ.
Well, these two individuals are stable. They are treated in the hospital. But what is more important for investigators right now is their background. Since these three individuals do belong to the Khalistani groups, they have been raising voice against India. They have been speaking against India. So this makes this entire case very special for the investigators, for the detectives, and this is perhaps the reason that they are leaving no stone unturned to find out the one person absconding, who is an East Indian man. But the sheriff office of Sacramento is still absconding, so the cops have started the manhunt. The statements of the other two injured are also being recorded. The statements of the eyewitnesses are also being recorded, and the president of this group, he is also being questioned as he has organized this entire celebration. So does it really have to do anything with the Khalistani movement? Does it really have to do with anything with the anti-India forces uniting together, or maybe due to some sort of sloganeering of flags being raised, this happened? That is something which cops are trying to assess right now. Back to you.
All right, Siddhant, do stay with us. I just want to read out a few lines from a statement that is from the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office saying that both of the victims are in critical condition. The shooting is not related to a hate crime, and it is a shootout between two men who knew each other. So that is the latest information which is coming in. Siddhant, can you tell us about how this investigation is likely to proceed? Because the numbers don't seem to be adding up, where two people have been shot, one shooter is still absconding. Can you clarify the numbers for us?
Well, yes, that's right. The cops have released a statement in which they have clearly mentioned that these three individuals know each other, and after and since they were speaking to each other, after which one person opened fire at the other, and the retaliatory fire was opened by the other person next to the victim. This is an official investigation of Sacramento Sheriff's Office. But as I pointed out before, that these individuals have been involved in Khalistani protests and anti-India protests. So it makes a very special. This entire case a very special case for the police force to investigate. Does it really have to do anything with the hate crime? Does it really have to do anything with the sloganeering of Khalistani flags being raised at the celebration outside the Gurudwara? So that is something of which can come maybe by evening or as the investigation moves forward. Back to you.
All right, so then a few follow-up questions for you when it comes to this horrific incident. Now, one point that we're learning about is that the celebrations which are going on. Could you elaborate a little more on that?
So this new Sikh temple Gurudwara has been built in Sacramento. And in fact, the celebration is a Kirtan celebration. So whenever one Gurudwara is built, then it is in a way an inauguration of Gurudwara. So large number of devotees have gathered at the Gurudwara, and in fact, some of the groups who have been participating in India protests, who have been raising voice against India, have also taken part. And it's very clearly visible in the footages that we have, where some people are raising this flag in a religious celebration, in a religious parade. So, and that this is perhaps the reason that the extra deployment has been made by the sheriff's office. Those 100 of law enforcement officers are there on ground to handle the situation.
We're learning about a shootout which has taken place in the open at a Sikh temple in Sacramento, California. We're also learning that 2 people have been shot at the temple in Sacramento. The sheriff's office is searching for the suspect. We're also learning that one shooter is still absconding at this moment. Now, when it comes to law enforcement, there are hundreds of officers on the ground, and the Sikh community was celebrating, and this is also an important point which is coming to light, where Khalistani flags could also be seen at the celebrations. Now, when this shootout took place. 2 victims were taken to a nearby hospital. The person absconding is believed to be an East Indian man in his 20s and 30s, and the police are trying to identify the reason due to which the fight has broken out. We're crossing over to CNN News 18 Siddhant Mishra. Siddhant, tell us more about this horrific shooting.
Well, that's right. So more than 100 of law enforcement officers are right now on the ground, and we have been told that heated argument broke out between 3 people from the Sikh community in Sacramento, where this new Gurudwara has been built. The celebration of Sikh community was taking place, and in fact, several anti-India Khalistani supporters, those groups have also participated in this celebration. And after the heated argument, one person opened fire on at the other person, and then the third person standing opened fire at the first shooter. At the first shooter, and after which, the chaos could be seen right outside the Gurudwara. Two of these people have been injured. 2 of the injured have been shifted to the hospital. The one person is still at large and responding. The police force is looking for that person. We have been told that this person is an East Indian man in his 20s and 30s. Cops are still trying to identify the reason due to which this fight broke out. Now, these 3 individuals, these 3 people belonging to Sikh community have been raising voice against India, have been protesting against India on the issue of Amritpal Singh, and this is perhaps the reason that even cops are taking this case very seriously. And even the celebration which was organized at the Gurdwara, one could easily see Khalistan flags and Khalistan slogans being raised in this celebration at a Gurdwara in Sacramento. So the situation is tense but peaceful. More than 100 of law enforcement officers are on ground.
Absolutely. Siddhant, let's also bring the focus back to the victims right now. We know about 2. Is there any update on that number, or is that the correct number? And can you tell us more about their condition?
Well, these 2 individuals are stable. They are treated in the hospital. But what is more important for investigators right now is their background. Since these 3 individuals do belong to the Khalistani groups, they have been raising voice against India. They have been speaking against India. So this makes this entire case very special for the investigators, for the detectives, and this is perhaps the reason that they are leaving no stone unturned to find out.
Welcome back. The showdown over Savarkar has been reignited after Rahul Gandhi, in his news briefing on Saturday, came out and said that he is not going to apologize because he's a Gandhi and they never apologized like Savarkar. Maharashtra Chief Minister has now waded in. He, in fact, has dared Congress's ally Uddhav Thackeray and said that Balasaheb Thackeray had hurled a shoe on Manishankar Iyengar's picture for abusing Veer Savarkar. Will Uddhav Thackeray do the same with Rahul Gandhi? That's the latest there that has come to the fore from Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde against his former party colleague and now arch rival.
कालच्या जाहीर सभेमध्ये सावरकरांचा अपमान आम्ही सहन करणार आहे म्हणजे काय करणार हे तुम्ही त्यांना विचारलं पाहिजे. सहन करणार नाही म्हणजे काय करणार. बाळासाहेबांनी तेव्हा सावरकरांचा अपमान करणाऱ्या मणिशंकर अय्यरच्या थोबाडीत दिली होती. ही हिंमत तुम्ही दाखवणार राहुल गांधींच्या थोबाडात देऊन.
Colleague now joining us for more on this. Venkaiah, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, also wading in on a day that the Samna, which is the Shiv Sena mouthpiece, had also come out and warned the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi of speaking against Savarkar.
Well, absolutely. At such a time, we have seen that both Eknath Shinde as well as Devendra Fadnavis have held a press conference to slam Rahul Gandhi. Not just that, they've said that there will be a Savarkar Gaurav Yatra, which will now be taken out in various parts of Maharashtra from tomorrow in order to give a befitting reply to Rahul Gandhi. So the issue of Rahul Gandhi's statement on Savarkar has only snowballed into a huge political controversy in Maharashtra. Today, Eknath Shinde not just showed the photographs of Manishankar Iyer being slapped by Bayasat Thackeray, the protest against Manishankar Iyer by Bayasat Thackeray, but also saying that Uddhav Thackeray should show that kind of a courage. In fact, now the protest will only intensify with Savarkar Gaurav Yatra being held in different parts of the state. Remember, yesterday, Uddhav Thackeray had slammed Rahul Gandhi for his comments publicly, telling him that that was a last ultimatum that was being issued to him, that
Yes.
Savarkar should not be insulted. Back to you.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you there. Let's cut across to Uttar Pradesh now, where more breaking news is coming in. And jailed gangster Atiq Ahmed has just reached Prayagraj. He is going to be lodged in the Naini Central Jail in Prayagraj, where Pranshu, my colleague, is reporting from.
Yes, these are the live pictures, and just a few seconds back, we showed you those live pictures where the prison van, the Vajra Vahan, which is used for ferrying hardened criminals, has just got inside the Naini jail, and these are the pictures. There is a lot of rush of the journalists out here, so I am unable to see in what position it's getting out, but this is the van which you see, from which Atiq Ahmed will get out, and then he will walk inside the Naini jail from this particular gate, which is on our right. So it clearly is, as we have been reporting, cutting aside all the speculations that we have been reporting, telling our viewers that Atiq Ahmed would be brought safely to Naini jail. And that is what precisely has been done just a few seconds ago. Atiq Ahmed, after a long non-stop journey for almost 24 hours, barring just an hour-long stoppage at the police lines in Jhansi, it has been a continuous run for Atiq Ahmed and the entire people in his security details all across 3 states of Gujarat, Rajasthan, then Madhya Pradesh, and entering Uttar Pradesh via Jhansi. So here finally, after, since 2019, Atiq Ahmed was in Gujarat Sabarmati jail, and it is after almost 3.5–4 years that Atiq Ahmed has been brought back to make a personal appearance in court of the MP MLA Special Sessions Court tomorrow, where the judgment in the Umesh Pal kidnapping case is to be pronounced. And sources are telling us that, keeping the stringent sections which have been imposed in that case, punishment up to life imprisonment could be awarded to Atiq Ahmed. And here I'll ask my camera person to show the sort of arrangements which have been done. A huge rush of journalists out here, and of course a heavy bandobast of the cops. The entire area has been barricaded. In fact, these are all the vehicles which were in the convoy that brought Atiq Ahmed safely. So clearly, UP government and UP police making sure that any sort of possibility of any untoward incident happening with Atiq Ahmed, that has been averted. He has been brought safely to Naini Central Jail. And what we are expecting is that probably, in next half an hour or an hour, Atiq's brother Ashraf, who is also a former MLA, is en route from Bareilly to Prayagraj. He'll also be brought here. Tomorrow is a crucial day in the entire investigation in this entire case, because Atiq and Ashraf, along with other accused, would be produced in a personal capacity in a sessions court, where the quantum of punishment and the conviction would be pronounced on them in the Umesh Pal kidnapping case. And that is big, because in past 40 years of his criminal career, this is for the first time that Atiq Ahmed, with more than 100 cases of heinous crimes against him, will be having a conviction in this case. So for the first time, Atiq Ahmed, former MP, former MLA, is formally going to be a convicted, and he would be behind the bars, not as an under trial, but as a convicted, accused. So that is clearly big, and Yogi government will take credit of it, saying that in our government, the witnesses got enough courage to actually depose against Atiq Ahmed. Remember, since 2005 onwards, Raju Pal's murder case, never ever there was a moment before 2017 when witnesses could actually go forward and depose against Atiq Ahmed. So in that sense, tomorrow is also an important day, but bigger story right now is that Atiq Ahmed finally inside Naini jail. Now the procedures would be done. The procedure says that he would be medically examined before he is admitted inside the jail. We have told our viewers that, it was jail to jail transfer. That is how the procedure is. Medical examination was done before he was handed to UP police out at the Sabarmati jail. Medical examination would be done once UP police hands him over to the Naini Central Jail here in Prayagraj. So clearly a big day as far as the entire, political side is concerned, and also the larger messaging of Yogi government of being tough against the organized crime and the big mafia.
Absolutely. It is going to be D-Day as far as Atiq Ahmed is concerned. At 11 a.m. tomorrow is when he and other accused are going to be produced in the MP MLA court in Prayagraj. He has safely been brought to the central jail in Naini in Prayagraj, where he will be lodged until the hearing is over tomorrow. And this is for the first time that he is looking at a conviction tomorrow, Pranshu, isn't it? He's had a career of decades ruling the roost really as far as his mafia Raj goes in Uttar Pradesh. He's flourished during the SP Raj is what the allegation is that the BJP makes. Tomorrow, for the first time, he perhaps is going to be facing the law for his crimes.
Yes, that's right. See, that's what the very interesting part is. I mean, you talk about gangsters and mafia politicians like Mukhtar Ansari or Atiq Ahmed. Never ever there has been a conviction. And it was almost, believed, and it was beyond imagination that anyone could actually muster enough courage to go out and depose against him. See what has happened with Umesh Pal. The very same Umesh Pal, who was also an eyewitness in Raju Pal murder case, was, kidnapped by Atiq Ahmed, was forced to go hostile in the trial of that case. And only when Mayawati came to power in 2007, Umesh Pal could gather enough courage to go and file an FIR against Atiq, accusing him of kidnapping. And then again, he was unable to ever give a deposition against Atiq unless and until Yogi government, BJP government comes to a power, the things change. Atiq Ahmed is sent out of Uttar Pradesh. Umesh Pal has made his deposition in the court only this year. So in January, February, just a couple of months before, it was that Umesh Pal has made a testimony against Atiq. He was subsequently, has been shot dead, unfortunately. But tomorrow, when the verdict is pronounced, Umesh Pal may not be present anymore, but his testimony is strong enough to ensure that conviction will take place. Now, what the court has to say, we are not clear, but I have been speaking to the district government council and other lawyers who have pursued this case, and they say that during the course of trial, the prosecution's witnesses have held to their ground. Prosecution has argued its case very strongly, and therefore they are hopeful that conviction will come. Now, keeping the sections which have been imposed against him, it's also highly likely that the maximum punishment of up to life imprisonment can be awarded to him. So once the life imprisonment is awarded, in case it is awarded to Atiq Ahmed, Ashraf and others, it will be a big moment, because for the first time in 40 years of Atiq Ahmed's criminal past, it will be a day when he is finally held legally accountable and guilty for the crimes which he has committed.
Right, and heavy security is deployed there. Absolutely no chances being taken by the administration in Prayagraj or the Uttar Pradesh police. It is a high-profile case. The accused is a high-profile one. He is an under trial who was in judicial custody in the Sabarmati jail in Gujarat. And the Uttar Pradesh government, the central jail in Naini in Prayagraj, is also completely prepared to ensure there is absolutely no untoward incident as far as Atiq Ahmed and his security is concerned, which is why several measures have been put in place already. We are given to understand that an isolated barrack is already prepared for Atiq Ahmed. He is going to be kept there. Round-the-clock CCTV surveillance is going to take place. There's absolutely no reason why the guards there are going to take their eyes off Atiq Ahmed. There's also new jail staff that is on duty, especially at his barrack. Remember, he is someone who's known to wield clout in the area in Uttar Pradesh. There's absolutely no chances that the administration wants to take, which is why the jail staff has also been changed right before he was brought to the central jail in Naini there. Guards are also going to be wearing body-worn cameras to ensure that there is round-the-clock surveillance of this particular under trial. Anila Singh of the BJP, I beg your pardon, now joining us on this broadcast. And Anila Singh, several aspersions were raised by the accused in this case, by the opposition in Uttar Pradesh as well, that there is a plan by the Uttar Pradesh police, and counter fears were also raised. But now, 24 hours later, Atiq Ahmed is safely arriving in Prayagraj.
So, all those political leaders who were accusing Yogi Sarkar, hypothetically, and few of them like Ram Gopal Yadav, he did the press conference and he said that encounter might happen and Atiq Ahmed might get killed. It is an answer to all those of them. That Yogi Sarkar believes in justice, Yogi Sarkar believes in the process, and this is what we are observing in today's date. So Atiq Ahmed has reached Naini jail, Prayagraj, he has Prayagraj Naini jail, and definitely further things will start rolling in for what he has been brought in here. And he is one person who is being hated in that area because of his criminal activities. But unfortunately, there are political parties who try to endorse his acts. But this is Yogi Sarkar. Definitely, we are not going to endorse his activities. But yes, we believe in law. We believe in rule and regulation. We believe in peace and harmony. But no, we are not going to spare such criminals. So Atiq Ahmed has reached the jail. Now further things will happen.
Anla Singh, the BJP in the state, the Chief Minister himself has often accused his predecessors, especially the Samajwadi Party, of ensuring that Bahubalis like Atiq Ahmed and Mukhtar Ansari flourished on the soil of Uttar Pradesh. The Yogi Adityanath government has been very clear that we are going to root out this malice. Is this the beginning of the end? Because tomorrow perhaps is the first time that we are going to be seeing a conviction against Atiq Ahmed.
See, the process has started since 2017 when Yogi Adityanath ji became the chief minister. It was not about Atiq Ahmed only. If I talk about like more than 180 criminals who did heinous crimes, they are no more. They are no more on this earth. Thousands of them, they have been convicted as well. So different parameters, different statistics, different results you can see if we talk about the crime and the criminals in Uttar Pradesh under Yogi Sarkar. Tomorrow we are going to see one major thing which Yogi Sarkar is successful to achieve, but and we know that what Samajwadi Party and BSP mindset has been.
Right, Anla Singh, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. The BJP, of course, claiming that they are going to fight against this malice. It doesn't stop at Atiq Ahmed. Mafia Raj will be rooted out. Rancho, my colleague, continues to be with us outside the Central Naini Jail in Prayagraj, where the convoy with Atiq Ahmed has already entered. As per procedure, his medical tests will be done before he is lodged in jail. And at 11 a.m. tomorrow, Pranchu, is when Atiq Ahmed and all the other accused are going to be brought to the MP-MLA court.
Yes, that's right. See, 11 a.m. is the time which has been given, and before that, the District Government Council has also written to the Commissioner seeking adequate police arrangement at the court. But as per the court procedure, generally what happens is that in pre-lunch period, it's the time for fresh petition, fresh cases, and generally the old pending cases and judgments are actually pronounced post-lunch. So will that be happening again tomorrow, or the court will think it better to announce the verdict tomorrow in the first half itself? We'll have to see. But generally what happens in the courts is that the judgments are actually pronounced post-afternoon. So we can also, be prepared for a slight delay. Instead of 11 a.m. in the morning, the judgment could actually be pronounced later in the day. Now, other important point, the development which will happen tomorrow is, we have already reported that UP Police has already filed an application for the police custody remand in the Chief Judicial Magistrate's Court, as far as the investigation in the murder of Umesh Pal case is concerned. Now, that is a very tricky move on the part of the UP Police. It clearly seems that UP Police is now trying to somehow ensure that Atiq Ahmed stays here in Uttar Pradesh, because see, he was out of Uttar Pradesh following the Supreme Court order. So there was also a speculation being made that whether after tomorrow's order from the court, whether he'll be sent back again to Sabarmati jail as per the Supreme Court order. But now the UP Police is willing for a police custody remand, and in case police gets a custody remand, then over the next few days, Atiq Ahmed will be officially in the custody of Prayagraj Police, and proper interrogation on him will be done as per the procedure. Of course, lawyers of Atiq Ahmed will be allowed some sort of access during that period. So in that sense also tomorrow will be interesting. One, what conviction, what order is passed by the MP-MLA Special Court, and second, what happens of that petition filed for a police custody remand by Prayagraj Police. How is the Chief Judicial Magistrate of Prayagraj going to take note on that petition, whether he gives the police custody remand or he denies the police custody remand?
Right, so all eyes will be on the MP-MLA court tomorrow at 11 a.m. is when all of the accused will be produced in court. The order is going to come perhaps a few hours later. Pranchu, thank you so much for getting us the latest from on ground there. But let's put this in perspective for our viewers and tell them what exactly awaits Atiq Ahmed and all the other accused in court tomorrow. Now, like I said, he is going to be produced at 11 a.m. in the MP-MLA court. He and the other accused will be moved back to the Naini jail right after the hearing is over. Now, UP Police is moving court to seek Atiq's police remand, as Pranchu was also pointing out. That application for police remand has been made already. It's expected that the moving of a Supreme Court relief or Supreme Court directions for Atiq Ahmed to be moved permanently to Uttar Pradesh is also something that the UP administration and the police could be looking at. Because Atiq Ahmed's transfer to Uttar Pradesh jail can only happen on SC's directions. It was the Supreme Court that had directed Atiq Ahmed to be jailed outside of Uttar Pradesh, which is why he was jailed in Sabarmati in Gujarat. He can only be transferred back if the Supreme Court directs so. Whether or not the UP government and the UP police approach the Supreme Court will only be able to tell you after the verdict tomorrow. We'll keep a track of that and much more here on CNN News 18. But for now, a quick break.
Gurdwara. So large number of devotees have gathered at the Gurdwara, and in fact, some of the groups who have been participating in the India protests, who have been raising voice against India, are also have also taken part. And it's very clearly visible in the footages that we have, where some people are raising the flags. In a religious celebration, in a religious parade. So, and that this is perhaps the reason that the extra deployment has been made by the sheriff's office. I'm told that 100 of law enforcement officers are there on ground to handle the situation.
We're learning about a shootout which has taken place in the open at a Sikh temple in Sacramento, California. We're also learning that 2 people have been shot at the temple in Sacramento. The sheriff's office is searching for the suspect. We're also learning that one shooter is still absconding at this moment. Now, when it comes to law enforcement, there are hundreds of officers on the ground, and the Sikh community was celebrating, and this is also an important point which is coming to light, where Khalistani flags could also be seen at the celebrations. Now, when this shootout took place, 2 victims were taken to a nearby hospital. The person absconding is believed to be an East Indian man in his 20s and 30s, and the police are trying to identify the reason due to which the fight has broken out. We're crossing over to CNN News 18, Siddhant Mishra. Siddhant, tell us more about this horrific shooting.
Well, that's right. So more than 100 of law enforcement officers are right now on the ground, and we have been told that heated argument broke out between 3 people from the Sikh community in Sacramento, where this new Gurudwara has been built. The celebrations of Sikh community was taking place, and in fact, several anti-India Khalistan Khalistani supporters, those groups have also participated in this celebration. And after the heated argument, one person opened fire on at the other person, and then the third person standing opened fire at the first shooter. And after which, the chaos could be seen right outside the Gurudwara. Two of these people have been injured. 2 of the injured have been shifted to the hospital. So one person is still at large in responding. The police force is looking for that person. We have been told that this person is an East Indian man in his 20s and 30s. Cops are still trying to identify the reason due to which this fight broke out. Now, these 3 individuals, these 3 people belonging to Sikh community have been raising voice against India, have been protesting against India on the issue of Amritpal Singh, and this is perhaps the reason that even cops are taking this case very seriously. And even the celebration which was organized at the Gurdwara, one could easily see Khalistan flags and Khalistan slogans being raised in this celebration at a Gurdwara in Sacramento. So the situation is tense but peaceful. More than 100 of law enforcement officers are on ground.
Absolutely. Siddhant, let's also bring the focus back to the victims right now. We know about 2. Is there any update on that number, or is that the correct number? And can you tell us more about their condition?
Well, these 2 individuals are stable. They are treated in the hospital. But what is more important for investigators right now is their background. Since these 3 individuals do belong to the Khalistani groups, they have been raising voice against India. They have been speaking against India. So this makes this entire case very special for the investigators, for the detectives, and this is perhaps the reason that they are leaving no stone unturned to find out the one person absconding, who is an East Indian man. But the sheriff's office of Sacramento is still absconding, so the cops have started the manhunt. The statements of the other 2 injured are also being recorded. The statements of the eyewitnesses are also being recorded, and the president of this group group, he is also being questioned as he has organized this entire celebration. So does it really have to do anything with the Khalistani movement? Does it really have to do with anything with the anti-India forces uniting together, or maybe some sort of due to some sort of sloganeering of flags being raised? This happened. That is something which cops are trying to assess right now. Back to you.
All right, Siddhant, do stay with us. I just want to read out a few lines from a statement that is from the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office saying that both of the victims are in critical condition. The shooting is not related to a hate crime, and it is a shootout between two men who knew each other. So that is the latest information which is coming in. Siddhant, can you tell us about how this investigation is likely to proceed? Because the numbers don't seem to be adding up, where two people have been shot, one shooter is still absconding. Can you clarify the numbers for us?
Well, yes, that's right. The cops have released a statement in which they have clearly mentioned that these three individuals know each other, and after and since they were speaking to each other, after which one person opened fire at the other, then the retaliatory fire was opened by the other person next to the victim. This is an official investigation of Sacramento Sheriff's Office. But as I pointed out before, that these individuals have been involved in Khalistani protests and anti-India protests. So it makes a very special. This entire case a very special case for the police force to investigate. Does it really have to do anything with the hate crime? Does it really have to do anything with the sloganeering or Khalistani flags being raised at the celebration outside the Gurudwara? So that is something of which can come maybe by evening or as the investigation moves forward. Back to you.
All right, so then a few follow-up questions for you when it comes to this horrific incident. Now, one point that we're learning about is that the celebrations which are going on. Could you elaborate a little more on that?
So this new Sikh temple Gurudwara has been built in Sacramento, and in fact the celebration is a Kirtan celebration. So whenever one Gurudwara is built, then it is in a way an inauguration of Gurudwara. So large number of devotees have gathered at the Gurudwara, and in fact some of the groups who have been participating in India protests, who have been raising voice against India, are also have also taken part. And it's very clearly visible in the footages that we have, where some people are raising the flags in a religious celebration, in a religious parade. So and that.
Welcome back. Many temples in Jammu and Kashmir have been in dilapidated condition for several years now. And the Jammu and Kashmir government, the administration there, has started renovating all of these heritage sites, including temples in the Kashmir Valley. My colleague Ishan Vani gets us this report.
Government is restoring all the traditional sites in Kashmir Valley, particularly religious sites, and behind me is this 700-year-old temple. It's known as Mangleshwar Bhairav Temple, located on a small little island in Srinagar's old city, and this was damaged in floods during 2014, and now the government is trying to restore it to its glory by designing it and ensuring that it is made traditionally how it looked, how it was. And the government's aim is to restore all these religious sites, including these temples located in Srinagar city. Remember, after the exodus of Kashmiri Pandits, several of these sites were in a bad condition, and there was no focus being given to them. Recently we also heard Amit Shah, Home Minister, pointing out that religious sites are being renovated, which includes Sufi shrines and also these temples. Why temples? Because after their exodus, there was nobody to take care of these temples, and they had been in a very bad shape.
Let's now get you a quick roundup of all that's made news here in the country. Let's start with the COVID cases that have unfortunately begun to rise again. The active caseload in India has now touched the 10,000 mark. Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan is set to hold a meeting with state representatives over their preparedness. A nationwide mock drill will also be held in April, wherein multiple health facilities are expected to participate. Bihar's Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Yadav and his wife were blessed with a baby girl today. The Deputy Chief Minister's sister shared the news on social media. Many political leaders from different parties congratulated the new parents. Former Karnataka Chief Minister and BJP leader B.S. Yediyurappa's house was attacked in Shivamogga by members of the Banjara community today. The community is holding massive agitation against the state government's decision to provide internal reservations in the ST community. Karnataka BJP MLA Virupakshappa's anticipatory bail application has been rejected by the High Court. This is in the KSDL bribery case. The Lokayukta had raised a strong objection to his bail application. Remember, this MLA was booked by Karnataka's Lokayukta over bribery charges after his son was caught by the police for accepting a bribe. A BJP worker in Puducherry was hacked to death by unknown assailants last night while he was having tea on a roadside shop. The assailants first hurled bombs and subsequently stabbed him to death. Video of the incident has now gone viral, showing the assailants attacking the BJP worker. All the accused have now been arrested. In a tragic incident in Afghanistan's capital, a suicide blast killed 6 civilians and wounded several others near a security checkpoint leading to the foreign ministry. Today's attack was the second attack in the last 3 months. The attacker was identified by Afghan forces, but the explosives he carried detonated. Former Pakistani Prime Minister and PTI Chief Imran Khan tweeted showing his parked car attacked with its window smashed. Imran Khan said that there was no one inside the car when it was attacked. He claimed that this was being carried at the behest of IG Islamabad, backed by the neutrals, to create terror among ordinary citizens who support him and his party. Hundreds of people have been displaced, for over 24 killed in the wake of the tornadoes which tore through Mississippi and Alabama on Friday. US President Joe Biden has declared a state of emergency and deployed federal resources to help with the rescue and response in some of the worst hit towns. Take a look.
The resources that the people here in Rolling Fork and throughout Mississippi need, the help is on the way.
On Sunday, cleanup and recovery efforts continue in hard-hit Rolling Fork, Mississippi, after a powerful tornado flattened much of the community late Friday night.
What we've seen over the last 36 hours in Mississippi, on the one hand, has been heartbreaking to see the loss and devastation of these communities, but on the other hand, has been inspiring and gives me great reason for optimism.
At least 10 confirmed tornadoes struck Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. And while search and rescue operations are still ongoing, President Joe Biden approved a disaster declaration for the hardest hit parts of Mississippi.
To the people of Mississippi, that we are here not just today, but for the long haul.
We are going to work with the team, with the state team here, to assess additional counties to see if any more need to be added to this declaration.
In Georgia, a large and extremely dangerous tornado struck south of LaGrange Sunday morning.
Some of the members of our church have had some injuries. Their homes were torn up, but there are no fatalities. Something to be thankful for.
You can see the aftermath of the destruction the storm left behind. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp declared a state of emergency. Meanwhile, in Rolling Fork, residents are bracing for the possibility of more severe storms as they face a long road to recovery.
राइजिंग इंडिया का मेरे लिए मतलब है देश के 125 करोड़ लोगों के स्वाभिमान का राइज होना, देश के आत्मगौरव का राइज होना। आज पूरा विश्व भारत के इस उदय को, राइजिंग इंडिया को मान दे रहा है, सम्मान दे रहा है। ये राइजिंग इंडिया की एक ऐसी तस्वीर है जिस पर हर हिंदुस्तानी को गर्व होगा।
Poonawalla FinCorp presents News 18 Rising India Real Heroes. 29th and 30th March on News 18 Network. Presented by Poonawalla FinCorp Limited, enabling dreams.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. The storm over Rahul Gandhi's disqualification as a member of parliament refuses to die. Team Gandhi is on a war path and leaving no stone unturned in attacking the central government. From Srinagar to Kerala, the Congress is outraged, staging protests and alleging there is no democracy in India. But is there really any villain as far as the Rahul disqualification piece is concerned? Yes, the Congress would say this is happening at the behest of the ruling government, but did the BJP have any influence, according to them, on the session court judge that gave Rahul Gandhi a maximum sentence in the Modi surname defamation case? Is the Congress then willing to say that they do doubt this, or are they going to repeat the homilies that they have full faith in the judiciary until a judge doesn't give a verdict in their favor? By the way, remember, the same also goes for EVMs a lot of times. The opposition today is criticized for the fact that when they win an election, the EVMs are fine, the election commission is fine. But the moment they don't like an election result, they raise these questions time and again. Also, they are raising, of course, the matter of the speaker and the alacrity, quote-unquote, that he has shown in disqualification of Rahul Gandhi. But did the BJP have a role to play here too? Of course, the central government says that the law is what it is. According to the Representation of the People Act, a person sentenced to imprisonment of 2 years or more is disqualified by law. The speaker has no discretion. Fundamentally, though, the bigger question that comes to mind is, it's been 3 days since Mr. Gandhi was disqualified as a parliamentarian. What is the unfathomable delay in moving a higher court, despite the Congress party being equipped with some of the best legal minds in the country? What is the Congress waiting for? That, in fact, is the biggest question. Is this then a bid to galvanize ground support before 2024 general elections? Are the rising political temperatures only so that Congress can also act going forward as a fulcrum of opposition unity? We'll take those questions to our guests in just a bit. But first up, the pictures of the day. Amid the ongoing tussle between the Congress and the government, Lok Sabha witnessed unruly scenes during Monday's session. MPs from Congress stormed the well of the House and hurled papers and a placard at the Speaker, Om Birla. Wearing black clothes, several opposition MPs took out a march from Parliament to Vijay Chowk to protest against the government over the Adani issue and Rahul Gandhi's disqualification as well. Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge leading the charge there, opposition MPs raising slogans against the centre, holding a Satyamev Jayate placard. Scores of Indian Youth Congress workers have staged protests across the country, including at Jantar Mantar. Congress workers climbed over multi-layered barricades to head towards Parliament later. They were, of course, detained by the cops. Kerala Youth Congress, for example, look at these pictures that we've gathered from Kannur. They protested against the cops in Kannur. There was a lot of scuffle. Water cannons were used by the police to disperse hundreds of them that had come out. Now, even as the Congress mounts these protests, a lot of questions are being raised on why the party is not seen fighting the conviction legally as quickly as it has fought other battles in the past. Till now, there is no legal challenge to Rahul's conviction, which is very necessary to roll back his disqualification as a parliamentarian too. So what is the party saying on this? It is giving varying explanations, and they have been changing over the last few days. You judge for yourself. Initially, the explanation was that they're waiting for the full verdict, when in the first 24 hours, they didn't quite challenge it. Then that the order copy is being translated from Gujarati. Later, the Congress party senior leaders, many of which are lawyers themselves, said that the delay in approaching a high court is only procedural, but they will want to go fully prepared when they do so. And finally, some of them have even said that they're waiting for the Supreme Court order on the Lakshadweep MP's plea. Remember, Lakshadweep MP Mohammad Faisal's 10-year sentence was suspended by Kerala High Court earlier. It has become one of the test cases as far as this section of the RP Act is concerned. Meanwhile, a massive row has also erupted over Rahul Gandhi remarks on Savarkar, someone he loves to bash in politics. Rahul, remember, in a press conference just recently also had reiterated that his name is not Savarkar and he will not apologize, quite like what they claim Savarkar did against the British. It's not just the BJP though. Even ally Uddhav Thackeray, curiously, is upset with the comment, and the faction skipped the opposition meeting at Kharge's residence today. Uddhav Thackeray warned Rahul Gandhi publicly. It's quite amazing this has happened. He said Savarkar is a godlike figure for us. We will not tolerate insults to Savarkar. Savarkar suffered unimaginable torture in jail for 14 years. Don't make comments that create rift between Sena and Congress. Curiously, when their alliance, the MPA, was still in power in Maharashtra, Shiv Sena was accused of ignoring Congress's similar jibes at Savarkar. Maharashtra BJP MPs also staged a protest in front of the Shivaji statue in Parliament against Rahul Gandhi's comments. BJP MPs held placards which read, "Stop insulting Savarkar." So there's a parallel battle on Savarkar playing out, but our major focus today is on the Congress's response to Rahul Gandhi's disqualification. Is it really truly hoping that this can galvanize the party's support base on ground? I'm not even talking about the opposition per se. Can the Congress party win ground support on the back of this disqualification? And is this why they're playing it out more politically than legally?
नरेंद्र मोदी जी लोकतंत्र नहीं चाहते और बोलने की आज़ादी भी नहीं दे रहे हैं और जो लोग सत्य बोलते हैं उनको जेल में डालने की पूरी उनकी कोशिश है।
पिछड़ों का अपमान करने का, अपशब्द बोलने का काम ये राहुल गांधी जी और कांग्रेस पार्टी लगातार करती रही है। इनके काले कारनामे, अब काले कपड़े, ये काले जादू तक जाने वाले हैं क्योंकि काले कारनामे छिप नहीं पाए।
There are further updates coming in as far as Rahul's disqualification is concerned. So now, according to rules, of course, and what sources are telling us, Lok Sabha Housing Panel has sent a notice to Rahul Gandhi to vacate his official bungalow. My colleague Pallavi Ghosh is joining us with more on this. Pallavi, what more do we know?
So basically, there are two things over here. The Housing Committee deals with the Lok Sabha MPs. The Urban Development Ministry sends a notice to ministers. So what we are picking up is that the C.R. Patil-headed Lok Sabha Housing Committee has issued a notice to Rahul Gandhi to vacate his official residence, which is 12 Tukulak Lane. And this is according to procedure. There is no surprise over here at all. He, of course, will be given time to vacate. Normally, it's expected within 1 to 3 months. However, the person concerned on special grounds or personal reasons can ask for some more time. But what Congress sources, while confirming this information also to us, are telling us that Rahul Gandhi is not going to be asking for more time. He has no qualms about vacating his house or his official residence, which is 12 Tukulak Lane.
Okay. So, of course, this is something that is going to be seen once again as an attack against Rahul Gandhi, or at least I'm guessing the Congress could question the amount of time it has taken for this housing panel to ask him to vacate his bungalow.
Well, a three-time MP is also entitled to a smaller accommodation, and also, and also the thing is that he is a Z+ security, so there are going to be those security concerns as well. But you're absolutely right. Remember, the Congress party is already protesting the fact that why is it in such a hurry in his case that disqualification was issued, and why is it that without even giving him more time, they are immediately sending these vacation notices. So as far as the Congress is going to be concerned, they are certainly going to make this yet another issue against the BJP and the central government on how they're trying to silence him, making him uncomfortable, and they're specifically targeting him and immediately implementing the rules, while in other cases they have given more time to MPs or even to ministers to vacate the official residence.
Okay. Pallavi, I'll leave it at that. We'll keep coming back to you for more. Speaking of the Congress's vehement protest against Rahul Gandhi's disqualification or this entire saga, including what transpired in Parliament earlier on the Adani issue, I'm joined with Meera Kumar, who is of course the Congress leader, but also importantly former Lok Sabha Speaker. She's joining us on the show. I do thank you for your time, Meera Kumar ji. कांग्रेस नाराज है राहुल गांधी के डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन को लेके, लेकिन सरकार का कहना है, बीजेपी का कहना है कि ये एक प्रोसीजरल है, इसमें प्रेसिडेंट्स हैं, पहले भी एमपीज एमएलएज को डिस्क्वालीफाई किया गया है और स्पीकर का काम है ये डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन करना. ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाती है, वो कह रहे हैं। तो इसमें क्या कांग्रेस ज्यादा पॉलिटिकली इसको लड़ने की कोशिश कर रही है, और क्या जो आप प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं उसमें कोई सब्सटेंस है? क्योंकि बीजेपी और सरकार का कहना है कि इसके तो प्रेसिडेंट्स हैं।
सब्सटेंस है, क्यों नहीं है? ये तो जो उसका कानूनी पक्ष है उसकी बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जो एक हवा में जो चारों तरफ बात है और जो लोगों को महसूस हो रही है और चुभ रही है, वो ये है कि जो विपक्ष है, और विपक्ष पे एक बहुत ताकतवर आवाज़ है राहुल गांधी की, उसको चुप कराने के लिए ये सब किया गया है, और इसीलिए सब त्रस्त है और इसीलिए सड़क पर उतर आए हैं।
एक सवाल जो ये भी उठ रहा है कि कांग्रेस इसको लीगली लड़ती हुई नहीं नजर आ रही है, तो क्या ये कांग्रेस की स्ट्रैटेजी है कि 2024 के इलेक्शन से पहले आप इसको जमीनी सपोर्ट गार्नर करने के लिए जमीन पे लड़ते हुए ज्यादा दिख रहे हैं, लीगली नहीं लड़ रहे हैं?
ये भ्रम कैसे हो गया कि कानूनी रूप से नहीं लड़ रहे हैं? 30 दिन की मोहलत मिली है, उस समय क्या किया जाएगा वो अभी सबको नहीं मालूम है। तो दूसरी बात ये है कि मैंने पहले ही आपको इसका उत्तर दिया कि ये सिर्फ चुनाव के मद्देनज़र नहीं किया जा रहा है, ये इसलिए किया जा रहा है क्योंकि हमारे देश में एक परंपरा रही है कि हम अपने अभिव्यक्ति की स्वतंत्रता को बहुत कीमती समझते हैं। संविधान में भी ये है, और इसको दबाने की कोशिश की जा रही है। अभी बहुत दिन से सदन में ये चल रहा था कि एक व्यापारी हैं जिनका बहुत समर्थन किया जा रहा है, हर कुछ उनके लिए ही किया जा रहा है, उन उद्योगपति के लिए, और उनके लिए जो किया जा रहा है उसका जवाब चाह रहे थे, तो सदन में उसका जवाब नहीं दिया गया, बल्कि जो शासन में लोग हैं और जो पक्ष में जो हमारे सांसद हैं, उन सब ने, ये तो बहुत ही अजीब सा वाकया हुआ कि जो ट्रेजरी बेंचेस के जो हमारे सांसद हैं वो वही लोकसभा को नहीं चलने दे रहे थे। तो ये सब चीज़ें हैं, ये कुछ बहुत ही विचित्र है और ये हमारे जनतंत्र के विरोध में जाती हैं, इसलिए सड़क पर आकर के उसकी प्रतिक्रिया व्यक्त करना आवश्यक हो गया है।
जी मीरा कुमार जी, आप भी लोकसभा की स्पीकर रही हैं 2009 से 2014 तक। अभी जो स्पीकर हैं ओम बिरला जी, उनके ऑफिस के ऊपर भी सवाल उठाया जा रहा है कि बहुत जल्दी डिस्क्वालीफाई कर दिया राहुल गांधी को, समय नहीं दिया। तो क्या आप मानते हैं कि उन्होंने जो अपना काम किया वो सही किया, या उनको कुछ और करना चाहिए था?
देखिए, अगर आपके सामने कोई कागज आता है तो उसे आपको पढ़ लेना चाहिए, ये तो आवश्यक है। मैं कोई टिप्पणी नहीं करना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि मैं पूर्व लोकसभा अध्यक्ष हूँ और अभी जो वर्तमान में अध्यक्ष हैं उनके कार्यशैली पे मुझे टिप्पणी नहीं करना है। लेकिन जो भी कागज़ आपके सामने आते हैं वो पढ़ने के लिए थोड़ा समय तो चाहिए होता है, उससे पहले कि आप उस पर हस्ताक्षर करें। ये टिप्पणी नहीं है अध्यक्ष महोदय पर, ये मैं एक जनरल में ये बात कह रही हूँ।
चलिए, आई विल नॉट प्रेस यू फर्दर ऑन दैट। मीरा कुमार, फॉर्मर लोकसभा स्पीकर, कांग्रेस लीडर, थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर जॉइनिंग अस। लेट्स ओपन दिस अप टू द गेस्ट्स हु आर जॉइनिंग अस। Shazia Ilmi of the BJP, Kathi Kartika of the Congress Party, R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist, Amitabh Tiwari, political analyst, Suman C. Raman, political analyst, all joining us on the show. I do thank you for your time. Let me take the questions that I asked Meera Kumar to Kartika too. A lot of people are wondering why this hullabaloo on the streets of India by the Congress Party when this is a court order, this is a battle you have to fight legally, the government has no role to play here. Is it purely because you want to galvanize your support base before 2024, that you're fighting it more politically than legally?
Shivani, here the thing is PM Modi ji is willing to destroy the democracy in order to save his friend Adani. If you see, Congress, in its 70 years of ruling, never did such thing in order to, in order to take a political vengeance on someone. So if you see, and in the time when our leader Rahul Gandhi ji was speaking in the parliament, he had only two questions. Okay, one was, from where did this 20,000 crore come to the shell company, which was owned by Adani, and there is a Chinese national also who's involved. So he asked these questions to Mr. PM Modi ji. So he
Right.
didn't have an answer for that. And the second question was, he showed this picture of our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji, and Adani, relaxing in a private jet. So he asked the question, from where did this, what actually happened? I need an answer for this.
That's
So there
fair
is no
enough.
answer.
That's
And
fair
he,
enough. But I'm
with
not
the
questioning
proof,
you
he
on the
has
Adani issue. Of course, you are free to fight the Adani issue, raise it. But I'm questioning on this disqualification issue. His conviction, Rahul Gandhi's conviction and disqualification is a matter of law. So do you believe that the public will be swayed by your protest, which is claiming that there is no democracy? When many would argue that the fact that a three-time parliamentarian, a top leader of the country, someone whose family is linked to a political party and to Indian politics itself, can be sentenced and disqualified is a measure of a true democracy. But you today claim that there is no democracy in India.
See, if you are observing, within 9 days of this, questioning, what Rahul Gandhi has told, so immediately within 9 days, he has been revived about the defamation case. So do you think, in this lightening process of, in that within the short span, how can anybody, revive the defamation case and giving a 30 days of period? How fast? How can that happen? There are many other BJP leaders also who were involved in such cases, and nothing has been happened. So why only Rahul Gandhi ji has been,
Okay, so what is your allegation
cornered like
here?
this?
Is the court
Yeah,
biased against Rahul Gandhi then?
See, it is not about court being biased, because I feel, I mean, we all feel that Modi ji has been, he doesn't wanted to answer all these questions. That's the reason
That's
he's
why
been
the court has
pressurizing
done it.
with respect to the court or
Okay.
with respect to the ED, because with respect to the Herald case also, the same thing has happened with our Sonia Gandhi ji and Rahul Gandhi ji, which we have sat us together and we were explaining things about it. So I think it is because BJP government, because Modi ji, our Prime Minister, is scared of Rahul Gandhi ji, because he has done the yatra from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, 4,080 kilometers, and he's just scared about it. And
Okay,
he's doing
Shazia
things
Almi,
fast
all of
because
this has been done because the BJP is scared. And Rahul Gandhi himself has said that the Prime Minister doesn't want him to speak on the Adani issue ever again in Parliament. That is why this entire disqualification saga has played out. Please respond to that, but also respond to my fundamental question today. Are you worried this could end up galvanizing public support against the BJP towards the Congress?
See, Congress always, we have a
Shazia ji,
Kartika
ji, please
person. I heard, so I think the argument put up by the Congress spokesperson is not just very deluded, but completely smacks of ignorance. She clearly does not know that this has nothing to do with the Modi government or the executive. This has come from the courts of India, and under the provisions of Representation Act, People's Act 1951, Rahul Gandhi has been convicted. As simple as that. I can narrate 12 such cases of MPs and MLAs who have indeed been disqualified. Two of them having been BJP MLAs. So the law is the same. Does Rahul Gandhi want a separate IPC to be written for him? Does he want a separate CRPC only for him, only because he claims to be from the royal family, so to speak? And also, it's hilarious that I still haven't an answer for the fact that Rahul Gandhi has just been thrown under the bus. So why is Congress parties? I understand if other parties want to do away with, Rahul Gandhi, but why is Congress party trying to get rid of him and scapegoat him? And thirdly, and most importantly, I do not know for the life of me how is it linked with the Adani matter. There is already a Supreme Court mandated probe underway, the results of which will be out within 4 to 5 weeks.
I
And
can give you
it
an
has been
example of R.K. Patel Singh, who is an MP from
You can give me as many
Uttar
examples.
Pradesh,
I can give
who
you
was
examples for 6
convicted,
and
who
7
was
years. And
convicted
Vikram Singh
in
Aseni,
November,
who are from the BJP, who have been
for
convicted.
halting
What
a
stopped
train,
you
for
from
blocking
going
a
to the
public.
court and
Okay.
Listen, for blocking a public
One by one,
train,
one by one,
throwing-
one by one.
throwing
Shazia ji,
stones
just
on
listen
the
to her for
police.
30 seconds. Yeah, listen to her for 30 seconds, then I'll give you more time. Then I'll give you more time. Shazia ji, yes. Kartika ji, please finish very quickly.
What do you think?
See, in spite of blocking the roads, public roads, in spite of pelting stones on the police person, but still he has given only 1 year of prison. So why does this happen when it comes to BJP leaders or BJP MPs? So it is clear bias, which the BJP MPs
Okay, but
and
Kartika
BJP
ji,
people
what
have
you're
been protected by
suggesting is then the bias by courts. Then you have to, is the Congress party comfortable in coming out openly and saying that we don't believe that the courts are neutral and unbiased? What you're talking about sentencing is purely on the judge.
See, what I'm trying to say is, when BJP is not following the democracy, BJP is not maintaining the constitution of India. So this is all the problem.
What has happened to the constitution of India? Okay, Shazia ji, I'll give you 30 seconds. Some of our guests are waiting. You answer my question about, are you worried that this could turn out to be a tipping point against you?
No, I don't think so. Our work and Modi ji's leadership has nothing to do with Rahul Gandhi's inadequacy as a leader. This has to do about our work and what we've delivered for the people. Unlike the opposition and Rahul Gandhi and all of them, their entire politics is based on Modi hatred and Modi bashing. Whereas Modi ji's entire campaign and all of us are there for nation's growth. So it is, we care about the people of India and Indian citizens and all our voters.
Then why is Modi ji not answering about his relationship with
Okay, Kartika ji, I have to move on. No, I have to move on to some of our other guests who have not spoken. Kartika ji, please, I request you to not speak over others. Let me go across to R. Rajagopalan as well. What do you think, sir? Do you think that this could indeed turn out to be an instrument that the Congress could indeed milk before the next general elections? They were looking like they were in search of a emotive issue, and this could well turn out to be that.
Shivani, milking is different question politically, because for that you need politics. You need how to do politics. Today, Uddhav Thackeray has directed his MPs not to attend Mallikarjun Kharge's dinner. So therefore, that is not politics. It is not milking. They are separating. Milk is splitting. The Congress put its mouth on Savarkar. The entire Maharashtra has gone against Congress. The Gujarat has gone against Congress. So where is the Congress? My understanding is the Congress advocates P. Chidambaram, Kapil Sibbal, Salman Khurshid,
Sibbal no
Mr.
longer in
Manish
Congress.
Tiwari. Congress, what they do? They are not helping Mr. Rahul Gandhi. They want Rahul Gandhi to be dumped. That is why they did not go to court.
But maybe, Rajagopalan, maybe they feel that this qualification will make him more endearing. That's why. Not because there is some conspiracy against Rahul Gandhi.
No, there is no conspiracy. Probably Rahul Gandhi does not want to go to court. He wants to go to jail. Who knows it? And second thing, my understanding is Meera Kumar just now did not want to comment on Om Birla.
Yes.
Similarly, the Congress spokesperson is not commenting on there is a split in Congress. My understanding is that the division in the Congress, legal cell and the political cell, and yesterday he had a hate against the media person. The media person, Ravi Sisodia, who has been covering for you for longer years, and he has been snubbed by Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So therefore, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is little off the track. My understanding is politically he cannot handle this issue. Therefore, they are not going to legal, they are not going to political, they want to stall the parliament. And today, as we talk, the parliament budget session has been over. Now parliament budget is passed in half an hour's time. And second thing, now Congress will do hue and cry about Rahul Gandhi asked to vacate the house. The Subramania Swamy has been asked to vacate the house. Everyone has been asked to vacate the house. You are no longer a MP. So therefore, these are all certain side dramas. My understanding is Congress is a divided house and it cannot milk anything from the public.
Okay, but Suman Raman, the alternative argument could be that while this is an emotive issue, the Gandhi family indeed has a connection to at least the Congress vote base.
in today's India, in 2023, you know, this kind of privileged mindset that the Congress is being accused of, entitled mindset, doesn't work with the voters anymore. That because you're a Gandhi, even one of the Congress leaders even said that because he's a Gandhi, there should be a separate, you know, conditions for him. So will this actually work on ground for Congress? Playing martyr here, or could this actually backfire?
Shivani, from the Congress point of view, I think it's excellent. This issue has come up as a godsend for them. And I think the fact that he's been asked to vacate his bungalow, that will also play out very well, because Mr. Rajagopalan spoke about Subramanian Swamy and others. Now that they've not been members anymore, they have to vacate. How many days time were they given before they were asked to vacate? When was the notice sent? Was it sent within 3 days?
You also ask for time, they will give.
1 second, don't interrupt, sir, don't interrupt. Why is this a political case? Nobody seems to answering the fundamental question. This is political because the complainant is a BJP MLA. It's not somebody from, you know, the vast multitudes who actually decided to complain. And this man gets a stay on his own complaint. Incredible. 11 months it is stayed. And then suddenly, once the Adani issue comes up, coincidentally, he moves for vacating the stay. Coincidentally, the stay is vacated.
What did Congress lawyers do at that time? They should have protested.
What the Congress lawyers did or did not do is not the issue, sir. Why did this man? Why did this man?
Congress lawyers spoiled the case.
I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you.
One by
Please
one,
don't interrupt. 1 minute, Shivani. First, what should the media be doing? Call Mr. Purnesh Modi. Ask him few questions. Sir, what made you seek a stay on your own complaint? Soon after, you were refused by the judge, the previous judge,